everybody is interested in coming up with alternative ways of generating energy. And for example, wind energy, solar energy. And those are very environmentally benign. The problem is they're not available when you want them. And so the key to making all of this work is to have the ability to store energy made at various times, and then to use it when you want to use it. And so that's why, in order to make the transition from petroleum-based energy to alternative energies realistic, we're going to have to come up with better alternative energy storage devices and technology. And so the effort that we've put together here at Michigan State is focusing on that. We put together a strong interdisciplinary team involving chemists, chemical engineers, material scientists, and electrical engineers that are working together to advance the next generation of alternative energy storage devices. And for our initial focus, what we're going to be focusing on is on batteries that have the ability to have a very high energy density, and supercapacitors that have the ability to store very high power. And the reason that you need both of those is so that you can have an effective, efficient system that gives you energy not only at the level you want, but when you want. Well, you can make an all-electric car from off-the-shelf batteries now. If you want to buy enough lead-acid batteries and fill up your car with lead-acid batteries, you'll be able to get an all-electric car. But the problem is going to be it's going to be very heavy. And in order to make the vehicle efficient and have better use of that energy, you want to make it as light as possible and still perform as a efficient transportation vehicle. And so really what that means is taking the weight out of batteries and making them more efficient, primarily by making them store more energy. So we can make smaller volumes with higher energy, and they'll weigh less, and therefore the vehicle will weigh less, and you'll have more passenger carrying capacity or cargo carrying capacity with those vehicles. The other side of that is that batteries can't do everything. So if you make your nice high energy density battery and put it in your all-electric vehicle, and you come up to the first stoplight or stop sign, and you want to take off, and you tromp on the stick to get everything going, well, you're not going to accelerate very quickly. And that's because while batteries can store a lot of energy, they can't discharge it very quickly. And so there's kind of a counterpart to this called capacitors, which I'm sure everyone has learned about in high school, that have the ability to store energy, but more importantly, to store energy and discharge it quickly. And that's called high power. And so what you really need are high energy density devices and high power density devices. So our work is focused on both of those. That is, putting together a new generation of high energy storage batteries and a new generation of high power storage supercapacitors or ultracapacitors. The way we can do that is to use nanoparticles, and more importantly to create a nano architecture to allow electrons and ions to travel very quickly over short distances, to do their job, and then to be recharged and to go back. And by doing that, it will allow us to reduce the volume of these devices, to increase their speed in which they operate, increase their reliability so they'll be able to be recharged many more times before they have to be replaced, and be able to make them so that they are more reliable. Now, the reason we put this team together at MSU is because we can address all those factors with the faculty that we have here in the chemistry, chemical engineering, material science, and electrical engineering departments. And that's something that's, I think, perhaps not unique at MSU, but certainly one factor which is very important and which is encouraged at MSU. That is, we have very low barriers to interaction, and we recognize that in this type of environment, we really want to build together teams of people with expertise to address the important issues, but teams that can work together and talk a common language and have a common focus and a common goal of succeeding in these endeavors.